I am on my way for a mini cruise here in Finland, and at the moment I am sitting at the Viking Line terminal in Turku, getting ready for the mini cruise, which will sail on the Baltic Sea for 24 hours with Viking Line. And we'll be sailing from Turku to Stockholm and back to Turku, which is Finland, Sweden, back to Finland, with Viking Line's popular fleet called the Viking Grace. So I can't wait for this experience because no one will disembark the ship when we get to Sweden. It will just turn around, come back to Finland when we dock in Sweden for a bit. So, yep, all the fun, all the excitement, all the fine dining, as promised, will happen on board of the Viking Grace. So I can't wait for this experience. So follow me onto this journey. Let's check out what Viking Line has to offer. I just checked myself into the cabin and I have a window, which means I'll see the view of the Baltic Sea whilst on board. And it has a sofa here, a couch, and a mini telephone that I can use in case I need to order something or if I need anything on board. Also, the beds are full, and I think it's the bunk beds. One here and another here, and there's another one below as well. And I think I can use these straps to avoid me from falling off the bed in case there's like storms on the sea, possibly. And there's a television here, hangers for my outfits, and then an instruction of the ship here. And here we have the shower, not that big but manageable, and the toilet here, the mirror, the soap, and then disposable cups. Definitely I could use in case I want to brush my teeth and stuff. And then the sink. Basically that's it. I'm about to relax a bit and then check out the other facilities on board the ship. Surprisingly, the ship is on time and we've started sailing to Stockholm. So this is how my view is from my cabin, the view I'll get throughout till we get to Sweden and back. I'm a bit hungry. Good morning. It's 6:43 and we just arrived in Sweden's capital city, Stockholm. Still on board. As I said, we won't be disembarking the ship because it's a 24-hour mini cruise and all the experience is going to be on board. So we just docked at the port of Stockholm. So take a look at the beautiful view of the city from the ship. as I said, we wouldn't be disembarking, so I get to see the city from the floor of my deck. And I think that's the old town Gamla stand on that side, and I can see an amusement park here, right here, and I don't know what this is. I think it's part of the harbor of Stockholm. And a view of the city right here from the ocean as well. So a quick feedback about the ship's activity yesterday. We had an amazing time whilst cruising from Turku all the way to Stockholm on the Baltic Sea, and it was an amazing experience. I loved it. It gave this 5-star treat, especially when we went for the dining during the dinner time. So the food were amazing. It was a buffet, all the food were amazing. I love the wine, and when you book this kind of cruise, you get to experience all the fine dinings on board. They had several drink choices, which I tried all of them because I'm a beer person. So I tried the beer, I tried the wine, and for the wines they had the white wine, the rose wine, and also the red wine. So I personally made sure I try all of it and see if it's worth what I paid for. And it's worth it, to be honest. It's worth it. I wouldn't mind introducing people to this mini cruise, or simply put, trying to sell the experience for people to enjoy, because it's something worth trying. But the only thing is, you don't get to come out of the ship when you get to Sweden, which I think is really not a problem if you are someone who really want to enjoy the luxury part of the cruise and not do so much walking and stuff like that. Then you can book this kind of mini cruise with Viking Line. So let's go. Let me take you guys on a tour through the ship and then get to see the facilities they have. Here is a screen of all the activities on board, so you get to see what show happens. They have a club on board, they have several bars, and they have a spa. So I will be experiencing the spa treat as well, because I booked that, and also lunch. So since the dinner was nice, I decided to book myself a lunch, so can't wait to experience that. So let's go. I'm on deck 8 now. Let's go check out what's on deck 9. And I forgot to mention that they have a duty-free store where you can buy stuff on board, which is 70% lower than what you get outside the ship, which I think is amazing. So if you're cheap like me, definitely this is where to do all the shopping. So this is deck 10, where you can find a club here. So Vogue Club, it's a nightclub and a lounge, and it's closed now because it's in the morning and they have to clean the ship. So we have some cleaners on board preparing the ship for the next cruise, which I think would depart in the next 2 hours. So I'm told I can't get to see much whilst they're cleaning. So this is the terrace. That's the view of the city from the other side of the ship too. And the terrace also has a bar, which you can purchase drink whilst the cruise starts. But it's not really a good weather today. It's kind of raining, so a lot of people did not sit on the terrace. These are the seats on the terrace of the ship. So the bar is here inside, so you order your drinks, come to the terrace, and then enjoy the view on board the ship. Another part of the city from this side, and that's the terminal bridge, where if we are supposed to disembark, that's what we are going to use. So but we are not disembarking the ship, so we are still on board for the experience. There's nothing much to see now because, as I said, they are cleaning the ship for the next cruise. So when the cleaning is done, I'll be able to take you guys on the rest of the tour, because there are some part of the ship that's closed due to the cleaning. Oh yeah, so the retro bar is open. Here's it. That's the retro bar where you can order the drinks and then sit at the terrace. And they have casinos on board, so if you're a fan of gambling, you can gamble a bit. So many gamble machines on board, and this is how the retro bar looks like. I love the interior. The interior is really nice. And let's keep going. If you have kids, whilst you're on the cruise, they have a lot of playroom for kids. So your kids won't be bored whilst on the cruise. And if you need some space away from the kids too, yeah, that's the kids playroom here on deck 10. So I think mainly deck 10 have most of the facilities for the activities, the restaurants, the club, the bars, and also there is a summer bar on deck 10 as well, which is closed at the moment. Once it open, I will take you guys through it as well. So, and that's the retro terrace. So you order your drinks from the retro bar here or here on deck 10, then you can enjoy the drinks from the terrace. As you can see, retro terrace right there for the amazing view outside. And the retro terrace is amazing when it's summer and there's some sort of sunshine. So let's get to the other part of the deck and see what's there. That is a Rockmore bar where you can get some drinks too, which is also close to the other part of the terrace. So it's two things. Either you order your drink from the retro bar or the Rockmore bar. Then the Rockmore terrace is here from the opposite side of the other bar, which is the retro bar. So another view from the other part of the city. Let's get to the other deck. And in order for you to locate everything on board the ship, they have signs that will help you to locate everything. So some of the signs are here. You can see conference, teens, shopping world, and there's a garage on board where you can park your cars. And the restaurant, Oscar a la carte, and then Seymour Champagne Lounge, casual fine dining by Frank's, spa and wellness, and then the Vaux Club. Yeah, so I think the spa is on deck 11. Let's go to deck 11. There are also signs here to easily help you locate all the facilities. So on deck 11, we have the Seymour Champagne Lounge. We have the Oscar a la carte, Frank's Casual Dining. The kids' sports are here, Spa Wellness, and Club Vogue, with the WC and smoking area on the other side. So let's try to find them and see. Way to the kids' playroom, this side. all the cleaning services are still here, so we can see. And here is another bar. I found a spa. The spa is here. Archipelago Spa and Wellness. Does it right here. I have a section here, so once it starts, possibly I would be able to show you guys around. That's if cameras are allowed. I can see the Vogue Club here as well. Still on deck 11. So I think the Vogue Club extends from deck 10 to deck 11 because it has an upper floor, and the gambling machines are here as well for those who love to gamble. I don't personally, which I don't think is a bad thing. And I can see a smoking area also here on the 11th deck. They're still doing a bit of cleaning, and there is the ship map. I was about to say the cruise map. That's the ship map in case you don't know where to go. They have a map on the screens to show you where everything is. So this is how the ship looks like, the size of the ship here. And the decks start from deck 3. So deck 3 is the car deck, where the car garage is. So if you are sailing or embarking on the cruise with your car, you can then park at deck 3. And deck 4 also have car platforms where you can, board the cruise with your car. Deck 5 also have a car deck where you can park your cars, and both have spacious areas for your cars to be on the cruise. That's if you don't want to pay for parking on the land from the port you embark the cruise from. So deck 6 have the cabins. Deck 7, that's my deck, also have the cabin. So I'm on deck 7, room 7231. And then deck 8 also are all cabins. Deck 9, a bit of cabin, the conference room, and then the shopping area where you can get all the tax-free stuff. Deck 10 have the restaurants, the game room, casinos, some bars, the sun deck. Deck 11 have similar. Deck 12 is a sun deck. And I think it's mostly restricted for the cruise on board. So yeah, once the cleaning is done, I will be able to show you guys more on board the Viking Grace. So I'm going back to my deck, which is deck 7. I'm on deck 9 now, so let's go. On deck 8 now, and welcome to my deck, which is deck 7. And this is where I am. This is my room, 723. Trying to find my keys for my bag. Got it. Okay. Voila. So I forgot to add that there was a live band performance by a band called Joyride on board the ship while sailing from Finland to Sweden. And it's part of the entertainment on board if you book this mini cruise, which I think is worth it because there are karaoke bars. If you are not really a fan of live band, you can decide to be at a karaoke bar and do the karaoke if you're a fan of karaoke. Yeah, which I obviously didn't get to see yesterday because I was a bit tired, so I took a nap and woke up late in the night, which I had a chance to see the Joyride perform at the Vo Club. So they perform whilst on board, as I said, from Finland to Sweden, and they do the same whilst going back to Finland from Sweden. So it's part of the package of the mini cruise, and I think there will be a different band performing today, which I'm not so sure because I had to check. Um, I have to check the performance roster today on the screen. So I hope Joyride plays again tonight. And yep, I'm gonna put their performances that I captured in the vlog, so at least you get to see how they did. See the view of the city from my cabin as well. Take a look. From here, but I can see much. I only see the cruise bridge. And I don't know if there's a bunker on a hill. And a little view from here, not much to see. Yep, welcome to Stockholm. After a 2.5 hour stop in Sweden, we are heading back to Finland, and the cruise just departed Sweden's capital city, Stockholm, heading back to Turku, where we started the cruise. So we had some passengers joining us, and some also disembarked the ship. But based on the kind of cruise we purchased, we won't disembark. We're just going to be on for 24 hours, as I stated earlier in the beginning of the video. So take a look at the view whilst we depart Sweden, the city of Stockholm. One thing I noticed about the Nordic countries is that they basically look alike with their medieval cities, and they have an amazing history. Let's go back on the tour. I think I can get to show you guys most of the facilities on the ship now because it's clean and everyone is getting busy again. So let's go. Let's go to the duty free store first, where all the cheap things happen. Not everything is cheap over there though, but at least it's 40% cheaper than what's being sold in the city. So let's see. There we go. So I'm back on deck 10. Now, the retro bar is busy, so let's go. People are having breakfast on board now. Excuse me. Remember, I told you guys the terrace is going to be busy when the bar opens. So there are people having breakfast on the terrace, and the terrace has a nice view as well of the city as we depart. But after a few kilometers on the sea, you see nothing. And it's just going to be the Baltic Sea. Let's get back to the ship now and see what we find. Let's go to the duty free store on deck 9. Okay, the elevator. I'm here at deck 9 where the duty free store is. There we go. Back to the casino here. The duty free store is closed, not yet open. I think so it opens at 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Finland time. We're in Sweden. So it was open at 5:30 to 6:30. I was asleep by then, and it's going to open at 9 o'clock to 12:45 Swedish time. So that's about an hour time, and 2 to 6:45. Then from 8 to 10. Okay, so I'm gonna come back. We will come back. Let's check out the other part of it. This is the conference area here in the ship, and there's an ATM machine here. The reception area. Oh, there's a store, mini store. So this is how the Viking ship looks like. The entire Viking Grace. Details of it here. The length of the ship overall is 218 meters. The breadth at waterline is 31.8 meters. The draw design is 6.8 meters. Yep. So Viking Grace sails from Turku, as I'm told. And I think the rest are for Helsinki and Åland. Yep. Back to the view of the city of Stockholm from the ship. This looks nice. This looks like an expensive apartment here. Looks like a rich neighborhood. That's really a pretty nice building. Ooh. So we departed at 8:19 a.m. here in Sweden, sailing on the Baltic Sea to Finland, and we will touch down in Finland, port of Turku, where we departed in the beginning at 7:55 p.m. in the evening. So let's enjoy the view on the Baltic Sea. I can see there are more boats sailing this morning. I think there's a tourist boat sailing on the archipelago. So one thing I forgot to add is that anytime you're sailing from Finland to Sweden or from Sweden to Finland, the ship or whatever kind of ferry that you use makes a stop at Åland. So Åland is a Finnish territory owned by Finland, which is in the middle of the Baltic Sea between Sweden and Finland. So the ship mostly makes the stop at Mariam, which is, I think, the capital of Åland, before it continues to either Sweden or Finland, depending on where you departed from. So let's say if I'm from Finland, the ship will make a stop at Mariam, which is in Åland, before we get to Sweden, Stockholm. And when we are coming back to Finland too, it makes a stop at Åland again before heading to Finland. Yeah, so basically that's the information I just want to chip in, just in case the ship makes a stop and you're wondering where you are. When it makes the stop, you are in Åland, Mariam. And sometimes on board, you can see the screen saying Mariam, exit here, when the stops happen. So anytime the ship stops in a way or in the middle of the ocean, check the screen. You notice it says Mariam, exit here. So that means there are passengers on board that actually heads to Åland and will make a stop there. It's a beautiful place too, which definitely I can cover on my next journey in case I decide to visit Åland. It's lunchtime now, and I'm having my lunch at the Aurora restaurant on the ship. Cruising back to Finland. The lunch is given another five-star treat, just like the dinner, and I love it. It's an amazing restaurant though. They serve great breakfast, lunch, and dinner when you're on board Viking Line. Their food is amazing. I don't know who the chef is. 10 over 10. And it's like the same during dinner. Excessive drinks from wines, beer, fruit juice, soft drinks, sodas. There's something for everyone. So I'm just eating the starter now. After the starter, I'll go get the main course, then grab some dessert. And after this lunch, I'm just gonna go to the wellness spa to have some sauna. Oh, I forgot to mention there's sauna on board. So I'm gonna have some sauna and relax at the spa a bit before we get to Finland. The duty-free store on board Viking Line finally opened after a while of sailing across the Baltic Sea from Stockholm to Turku. I decided to check it out and grab a few alcoholic drinks since they are noticeably cheaper on board than in Finland. Remember, all items on board the Viking Line is 40% cheaper than on the land. My mini cruise is coming to an end. We are approaching Finland now. You can see from the view. Yeah, so we are approaching the port of Turku where we started the journey, and I will disembark the ship because that's the end of the trip for me. And for the experience, I would say 10 over 10. I would say 10 over 10. And I'm planning to do another 24-hour mini cruise with the same, Viking Line from Helsinki this time to Stockholm and back to Helsinki. I just want to see the difference or what makes each port unique and stuff like that. I'm getting back to my cabin to pack my stuff and get ready to disembark the ship because we are docking in a few.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived in Turku. Disembarkation takes place from decks 6 and 7 bow and amidships. All car passengers are requested to go to the car decks immediately, please. All passengers disembarking are requested to leave their cabins for cleaning.